Now then, people, it's Joe, it's All Leeds TV, and it's time for another episode of Before the Whistle Blows. Really look forward to these every single week. Highlighting my week, actually, during this lockdown, which says a lot about what lockdown's doing to me. The fact that speaking with these on a Friday is the highlight of my week.
People.
But, before I go, but while I remember, I'm going to quickly do the sponsorship because I always forget it, and I end up doing it like 20-25 minutes into the video, which isn't good, so I need to get that done, otherwise we're going to get binned off. So this video is sponsored by Football Prizes, guys. The link is in the description as per. This week there's plenty on offer, not just from a Leeds United perspective, but there's plenty of stuff on offer. You can get a Liam Cooper signed and framed Leeds United shirt, £4.95 a ticket. There's 99 tickets available. You can also get yourself a customised Adidas trainers, any size, any club. That's a bit of me. So if you fancy that, make sure you check that out. Olivia Decor signed and framed Leeds United shirt as well, £4.95 a ticket. There's 99 available. So make sure you check them out as per. There we go. Right. Okay. How is everyone, Locks? How are you, mate? All right?
Yes, very good, mate. Very good. Despite lockdown and just doing what I did out of lockdown and, just stayed at home. So, it's all good for me.
Corey, what about you?
Yeah, sweet, man. Yeah, just getting all the content out. It's a bit manic at the moment. Obviously, the fixture pile up. We've all got the FA Cup next weekend already. I've just done a bit of analysis for that. So, just keeping busy.
We don't speak about the FA Cup on this stream anymore.
Sorry, man. Spin it off.
Yeah, I told you, didn't I? I said if anyone's due for an upset, it'll be our lot. Bloody hell, it was shocking. Elaine, how are you?
Good.
Elaine, you've muted yourself. You are still there. You can hear us a second ago.
I can't hear you. I don't know what happened.
Okay, how are you? All right?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. And Hal?
Yeah, I was thinking about pretending my screen had frozen or going silent for a minute. Because one thing that's really good is if you're ever interviewing someone, nowadays you've got to interview people via Zoom and stuff for jobs. And because in my professional capacity I'm really important, I get to interview people. And one thing to do is to pretend you've frozen and see how they react to it as the interviewee. And it can be really good because some people really crumble. And some people, it's like you're having a staring contest, and I really respect them. And it's almost a test of how long they'll actually stay on the call. If you need any sort of jobs worth a out like that, mate, I'm looking for a job, Hal. So if you've if you want to sort us out a job, that'll be. You're looking for work, Joe. Okay, yeah. Fine. We'll talk about that offline. But also the reason I'm really bad at it is I blink a lot. I think I blink an irrationally large number. I've got very moist eyes.
I tell you used to do that a lot. I don't know if anyone will remember her. I don't even know if she's still on it because I don't watch soaps anymore. But Gail Platt used to do this all the time. Does anyone know who Gail Platt is?
Yeah. Still kicking around, mate. Still kicking around.
Yeah, cool. Right. I haven't watched soaps for absolutely years. Elena's gone. I don't know what goes on with Elena.
She struggles with the internet.
Are you there?
I'm here now. I don't know what happened.
Neither do we. Scratching his head every week.
And it was fine for the whole time. So I don't know what happened.
It must just be us. But yeah, the Dan Bob said, Gail Platt, is that what our Fridays are about now? Gamer Guy has asked where Oscar's had his granddad's passed away over the last couple of days, so he's taking a bit of time out from All Leeds TV. So yeah, send your love Oscar's way. That's that. So, right, guys, let's get into it then. I think the biggest game of the weekend, bar Leeds, of course, is the big one. The top of the table clash between Manchester United and Liverpool. Man United could go 6 points clear if they win this game. And I think, look, Ollie's took a lot of flack from me, from us, from the majority of football fans. But he's doing a good. Is he doing a good job? I know the last 6 wins. It's a little bit misleading, guys. They've beaten West Ham, Sheffield United, Leeds, Wolves, Villa, and Burnley. So, Locks, is it a bit of a false position?
I don't think so. I mean, obviously, I'm a Leicester fan, and every time we're at the top of the table, we're always being told it's a false position. So I don't really like that. So I'm not going to say it's a false position. I think they've definitely improved. I mean, you know, it feels like only a couple of months ago that they could only win games when they were obviously on the hitting teams on the counter attack, and it doesn't seem that way anymore. It seems like they're breaking teams down a bit better. Who would I rather win the league? I know you would rather Liverpool win the league, Joe. For me, I don't know. I like a story, and I think Manchester United winning the league would be a bit of a story, seeing as they haven't won it since Fergie left. And isn't it their first time at the top of the league in like 4 years or something?
Since Fergie, I think. At this stage of the season, it's the first time they've been top.
At this stage. So, yeah. I don't know. I think it's going to be a tough one to call this weekend. I mean, Liverpool just aren't on it, are they? Manchester United, they can be so inconsistent. It's a hard one to call. So I'm going to struggle calling this one. But I think it's going to be a close game and you know, a few goals in it, definitely.
Yeah. Just before I agree, Locks, just before we begin, I think we've got a little bit of feedback. Elena, have you got the laptop on? Have you got some headphones? She's muted though, so it can't be Elena.
Yeah, she's
muted. No, it's not.
Right, okay.
Is it now? Is it still here?
Yeah. I think you might need to get some headphones if it's coming through the laptop.
It was literally, I just did a stream and it was fine. Literally just before this.
It's not the kind of feedback, you know, when I'm normally watching the internet with 4 lads and a woman, I normally have the whole thing muted.
Right, let me leave and come back.
Okay. Or when you're not speaking, Elena, just put it on mute.
Just do that, Elena. That'll be easier. You don't need to go and come back. Just mute yourself when Locks is talking.
Yeah. But yeah, we got there. We'll get there in the end. But yeah, Locks, I mean, a bit of a story. I mean, Man United dominated for a period of time. Is it really a story, them finally coming back? I know, obviously, I'm going to say that, but is it? Are you a bit of a romantic? What for Man United?
I mean, my team won, you know, the Premier League 5,000 to 1 odds. So yeah, I am a bit of a romantic.
That's the story, though, bro. That's the story.
I get that, but I think Man United winning the league this year would be more of a story than Liverpool winning it again. I don't know. I think the story last year was Liverpool winning it for the first time in, was it 30, something like that?
However many years.
And I think, you know, I know they only won it less than 10 years ago, Man United. You know, it was 7 years ago or something like that. However, I still think, you know, with the stick that Ole has previously got, deservedly, I think, in the past, I think now they have turned it around, and if they do maintain this position, obviously they will finish first at the end of the season. And I do think it would be a story because of, I mean, don't get me wrong, Bruno Fernandes, I think, will be the reason that they've won this league. I think he's completely changed their side, of course. But
good-looking fella as well. I think we can all agree. Very attractive.
How do you buy into this? I don't think you're going to buy into this. Do you think it's a bit of a story if Man United were to win it?
The league?
Yeah.
The whole thing, the whole shebang. It was funny hearing that this is the first time they've been top since Fergie left. Just makes you think what an incredible job Alex Ferguson did. Sir Alex Ferguson deserves the Sir. And amazing to think that he achieved so much with some really dodgy signings along the way as well, you know, to manage to win the league with that team that he did the final time he won the league. And you think back to some of the Klebersons and Jemba and just players that didn't really work out, Bebe. And then there were so many signings that did work out. Now, I don't think that Solskjaer has actually had as many boobs in terms of, I think all the signings he's made have actually been really good. So it comes down to purely the manager. He won't have the same way with players. He won't have the same way of building them up and that man management that I think Alex Ferguson had. That's probably the key, because I actually think Solskjaer's got at his disposal the best squad arguably in the entire Premier League. I know lots of fans will think that's crazy, but we haven't seen the best of all these players at Manchester United. I think they should certainly challenge for the title and should have done for the last 2 years as well.
Yeah, true. And Bruno Fernandes, I mean, he's won like Player of the Month like 4 times now, I think, isn't it? It's slowly becoming the Bruno Fernandes award. Corey, do you think Man United could get 3 points at Anfield? Obviously, Liverpool are unbeaten in 66 games, I think, at home. Do you think they can get all 3?
It's a tough test. I remember when it was the Leicester-Liverpool game, and we were sitting here saying, I reckon Leicester can do it. And there is something about Anfield away that is really difficult to beat. I think actually United have been able to turn it around because they've been able to get Pogba in the side. And I think they've got that ability to go to McTominay, Fred. They want to sit behind the team. They can bring Pogba on. They brought it against Burnley. He gets the goal. That's the difference. We're talking about being able to break down those smaller teams, get the points. And I think that's why they've been able to get to that position. But ultimately, it's a massive test. Liverpool is a tough side. I know they haven't been firing on all cylinders, but if they can get Thiago in the side consistently for 90 minutes, it could be a little bit more even. I'm not going to give Ollie too much credit because I'm not sure how much he deserves, but Hal said it. He's got one of the best squads in the league. And if you can get a tune out of them, of course, they will be top 4 and possibly pushing for the title.
Yeah, you bang on. I mean, I still think there's something in the fact that the last 6 wins haven't... They should be beating them teams, if we're being totally honest. They should be beating West Ham, Sheffield United, Leeds. No, it's true though, man. They should be Wolves, Villa, Burnley. I mean, Burnley are shocking. But yeah, they should be beating them teams. So maybe it is a little bit of a false position. I mean, I don't give them any hope whatsoever on the weekend. I think Liverpool, whenever they've had questions posed, like you mentioned, Leicester, Wolves, they've come out and they've blitzed them. And I'm hoping that that'll be the case on the weekend. Elena, what's your thoughts on this fixture?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, all good.
Okay. Yeah, I think I was so convinced that Liverpool were going to win, but then like everyone, all the United fans got in my head, and now I kind of feel like they will do it. I mean, it will be
come out of the woodwork now. The top, everyone's a Man United fan.
I know everyone's coming out. I did a stream with Kojo for 3 in midfield, and they said he was like to me, yeah, no, we'll do it, and I was like, well, I didn't think that anyone could really beat them at Anfield because their record is incredible there. I mean, we knew how we played against them. I felt like we should have won, to be fair, I think. But they just get the results against teams at home. If Bergwijn
could finish his dinner, he probably would have won, to be fair.
Yeah, that shot does give me nightmares. But anyway, I do think if anyone is going to beat them at Anfield, it probably will be United. But I see it being a draw, to be fair. I could see a 2-2, a 1-1 draw. Obviously, a penalty to whichever side. They're both the sweethearts, aren't they? Darlings of the Premier League. So I feel like it could go either way. But I see a draw. But I feel like it's going to be an exciting game. If anyone is going to win, it would be quite funny if United did break their unbeaten record there, because they feel too entitled with them at home, and I would like someone to just put the nail in the coffin there, but I don't want United to win the league, so it's a little bit up in the air. But I feel like a draw will probably be the most likely result. I don't think they'll lose, but I don't think they'll win.
Cool. I'll just let me do that 1 sec. Boom.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, no, sorry, guys. I was just muting Elena. I didn't want to set off on a tangent so that I could then hear everything and it all go, feedback and all that jazz. But to be fair, it's mad. This is the difference in it, because like Elena's called Liverpool entitled locks, thinks Man United's a story. For me, I just can't see my hatred for that club. So for me, they're the ones that are entitled. For me, there's no story there. Man United have been and done and won it all, and I hope Liverpool absolutely give them a spanking. But Elena's gone for a draw. Locks, what's your score prediction for this one?
How? Sorry. Yeah, it's going to be a close one. I reckon 2-2. I'm going to go with 2-2. I'm going to go for a draw. With Man United staying at the top of the table.
Cool. Corey?
I'm going to go probably an entertaining 1-1. Bruno Fernandes to get another penalty.
Probably. Hal?
Can I give you the bigger story here, Joe? And when I say can I mean I'm going to. First of all, I want to address the elephant in the room, which is locks. Because Locks, there's a few comments about why I've still got the beard, and Locks is having a bit of a go at me on our private message thing on WhatsApp. I'm actually leaving WhatsApp soon because they steal all your data, and I'll be very pleased to not have to speak to you. But I said I was going to shave when Sheffield United won in the Premier League, and I have. That is now a very neat beard, whereas before it was unmanageable, to be honest. It was out of control. Thank you, Elena. Elena, give me a round of applause, which no woman has ever done with anything I've ever done. So that is nice and neat and tidy, right? That's all I was going to do. So can we just... We're happy?
I think we should shave it all off, to be fair.
Right, well, that's what I didn't want to hear.
I mean, if you get rid of that, I'll get rid of this.
See, I think... right, I don't mind shaving it all off, but my wife wants me to keep it. Maria, the people on the internet are bullying me again. I want to keep it, and she really wants me to keep it because my natural face sucks. So you want to try and cover as much of it as possible, and I think that should probably answer your question. Man United win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Man United win. What you going, Hal? What's your score prediction?
1-0.
No, really. I'm going Liverpool 3-0. I think they're going to beat them, and I think they're going to beat them well. Just my opinion. We'll have to wait and see. I hope it's right. Right, next one we're going to have just a quick... guys, get your score predictions in for that one as well. There's a lot of love for Hal, as per saying this guy's funny. I don't know where they get it from, to be fair, but there you go. We'll next move on to Fulham and Chelsea. I want to talk about Lampard, of course. There was news this week that apparently Avram Graham was going to be brought in and going to help him on his coaching stuff. I don't know whether or not that's true because I had a look and apparently Avram Grant's come out and rubbished it, but there's no smoke without fire kind of thing. Look, Locks, Chelsea have to win this game, don't they? Otherwise, I mean, they're 9th in the table. It's not good enough for a team that have spent what they have, regardless of what you think of Frank. So he's got to win this game, otherwise it could be curtains, surely.
Yeah, I think they will win it, but I don't want them to. I mean, I saw Hal, was it you that put the tweet out earlier on about the most cringeworthy fans in the Premier League? And I would say Chelsea are definitely up there. I think, if just a couple months ago when they were sitting, towards the top of the table, you had all these fans on social media and the ones on telly as well, going about, I'll be blowing my whistle, Kevin Friend. A lot of the Chelsea fans, giving it the big un, saying they were going to win the league and all of this. And I think, they were speaking a little bit too early there. I do think Chelsea will win this game, but they're 9th in the league. Abramovich has been pretty ruthless in the past, and even though Frank Lampard is probably Chelsea's, biggest legend ever, I still think that they would, sack him. So I can't. I don't know. It's a hard one to call in terms of Lampard's future, but I think they'll definitely finish, obviously, above 9th this season. I think they'll probably finish Europa League, but yeah, Jordan's right. Jordan is right. Jordan is spot on. But he is the reason why I want Chelsea to finish low this season. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's what I'll say.
Corey, what are your thoughts on this? I think personally, if he loses this game, he's gone. But what do you make to Fulham and their turnaround? Obviously, a point midweek against Tottenham.
Yeah.
Decent point to be fair for them. He's really started to turn it around. I was hoping they were gone, like some of the other clubs that are down there, but I don't want to say it out loud because my friend's on the show. But yeah, what do you think to this fixture?
Oh, it's going to be interesting. I think Scott Parker's going to get one on Lampard, possibly a draw or even a win. I know he's had 5 consecutive draws, but it actually belies how much he's turned that Fulham side around. Even up front, they don't even have a natural striker. There's no Mitrovic either. It's just wingers. Lookman, I think they've got Loftus-Cheek in the side, so he won't play. But ultimately, I think Parker's turned it around. And listen, I know you don't like Scott Parker. And to be fair to him, it looked like he was struggling massively. Lampard, again, like I've said, tactically naive. I think probably Scotty's going to pack the midfield, make it tough for them to move through. Again, they're having issues with Werner. I know he got a goal the other day. It's against Morecambe. So maybe it was trying to give him a little bit of a confidence boost. Yeah, definitely. I'll back Scotty P to try and get at least the draw against Chelsea.
Yeah, you bang on though there about Werner. Didn't Havertz score a hat-trick against Burnley in one of his first games, and then he's been absolutely garbage since. So, you know.
Yeah. People were absolutely wetting themselves because he put out a full strength side against Morecambe. But I think Lampard knows that he has to get a decent-ish result to keep his job looking like it's moving somewhere. Avram Grant would be hilarious. Take it from someone that took West Ham down. He's the worst manager I've ever seen in my entire life. And that Chelsea side did carry him to that Champions League final. So wouldn't even be surprised. He's Abramovich's mate if he gets him in for 6 months.
Yeah, neither would I. It'd be so good to see as well, to be fair. Hal, what's your opinion on this one? What do you make to Fulham? And obviously
I'm trying to think of how a joke about putting a full strength side out against Morecambe was wise, but I can't think of anything, and it'd be crowbarring it in, and I don't want to do that. I did like that you called Avram Grant, which implies that, and Avram Grant is like, he comes around, knocks on your door, does a little dance, gets naked. I don't know, which would be horrific because he looks like a turtle.
Yeah, it's a bit like Jabba the Hutt, isn't he?
He's a bit like Jabba the Hutt. I mean, I'm a bit like Ralph Little.
David Guest, mate. You'll never get past David Guest.
Yeah, I don't really want to do that one because he's dead. Yeah, so saying that I look like a deceased man, I think is, to be honest, as I do repeatedly come onto your channel for free, quite rude. Fulham look good. Shame about Mitrovic being out. He's such a good striker, hasn't really had a good start to this season, but if they get him firing, I don't think they're going to. I think they're probably going to loan him out. They're doing incredibly well, Fulham, considering the resources. Now, I did a preview before Sheffield United played Fulham, a few of them actually, and when the Fulham fans were telling me their team, player for player, I was thinking, actually, this isn't that bad a side. They've got some pretty good players in there. Players that several years ago, certainly, youngsters that were coveted. So, the squad isn't that bad. And Scott Parker's doing a pretty good job. I've always liked Scott Parker ever since he did that McDonald's advert. He was doing the keepy uppies in the garden. I mean, Eleanor's too young, but do the rest of you remember that? By the way, is it Eleanor or Elena? I want to get it right.
It's Eleanor. You're right. It's Eleanor.
Eleanor, because my mother-in-law is called Eleanor Nicola as well.
That's so weird.
Yeah. I know, you've got exactly the same name.
Literally.
Yeah, I remember asking Joe when you were going to join us, like message him like, "What's her name?" He's like, "It's not going to be the same." It's like, it was exactly the same.
Yeah, to be fair, I just thought when you said Ellen and Nicole, I thought you were on the wind-up, Hal, to be honest. I didn't really
exactly the same name. It's she's Italian. I don't know where your surname comes from.
I'm Greek, but they're very similar. So yeah.
Yeah, well, my wife is half Italian, half Greek Cypriot.
Yeah, I'm Greek. Yeah, that's me. I'm Greek Cypriot. So yeah.
There you go.
Are you two done having a chat now?
What are we talking about anyway? We're probably going to be related somewhere down the line, so we'll have a separate chat.
Anyway, where are we?
Yeah. Eleanor, talk to me about Fulham. Obviously, midweek, 1-1. Tottenham went in front, tried to defend them 1-0 wins like he likes to do. I think the only team they went at was Leeds United, which is unfortunate for us, and then the rest is thing. But what do you make to Fulham, and then obviously Lampard and Chelsea?
I mean, I have to be honest. Yeah, they were managed very well. Scott Parker did well in midweek. I can't deny that. He did do well, but there is a but. We had about 4 big chances Son missed, which is fair enough. I can't blame that on Jose Mourinho. He definitely should be putting them away. But my problem is that per game, we're not creating enough chances. We create about, I want to say 4 or 5 chances a game normally, big chances. And
what I'd give for that.
We're expected to score them, whereas I think we have the team to create a good 8, 9 a game. We shouldn't just sit back. Yes, in that most of the time we wasn't, but in that second half after we came out with the 1-0, they had more possession. We didn't really look like we were trying to hit on the counter a few times maybe, but overall, I just don't like the way we set up. So yeah, Fulham did very well. Scott Parker did very well, but I also think we could have taken them to the cleaners if we actually went at them the way we were before we had scored. We kind of were going at them, but whatever happened in that dressing room at halftime, Jose Mourinho telling them to sit back, whatever it is, something needs to change because he needs a plan B after we concede, and we don't have one. So it's just it's great.
You guys have dropped 10 points from from winning positions. It's been incredible how many times you've drawn, ended up with 5 points when it should have been 10. You're right. If Mourinho said to them whatever he is saying, keep going, get 4 rather than sit back.
And well, I don't believe. I just want to add this because this is a platform where I can say this. I don't believe when Jose Mourinho's sitting there saying, "Oh, we tried to attack and we got pegged back." And I'll tell you why that's not true. Number one, he's saying the players are either trying to attack and getting pegged back, or the next time he's saying, yeah, they just didn't listen to me. I'm not telling them to sit back. So you're telling me the players want to do more work and sit back and have to run back up the pitch when they could be attacking? Like, I don't believe your talk. Like, I genuinely don't. So, and in Palace, against Palace, we got pegged back. He's saying, okay, well, as soon as we conceded, somehow in 8 minutes, we looked like we were going to score. So I don't really believe that's the case, because the minute we concede, we look dangerous. So yeah, this is my problem. But anyway, yeah, midweek.
You're spot on, because you're right. When you don't have the ball, it's much harder.
Yeah. So yeah, we're doing the harder job voluntarily. You're saying highly doubt that for some reason. Highly do. But anyway, I have a lot of issues. But yeah, if I feel like with Fulham, he can do something against Frank. Obviously, they're in really bad form. Frank needs the points, so he's going to go all out. But it would be brilliant if he could get a nice little draw. If he beats them, I feel like Frank is out of the job, really. Yeah, and it's sad but it's sad in a way. But they've spent so much money. If I was a Chelsea fan, I would be annoyed. I have.
The question was about Fulham, and we started talking about.
I just had to because the same thing happened. But yeah, if I was a Chelsea fan, I would expect title challenges with the amount of money he spent, or just be in and around the mix, and they're not. So I think he is in danger. And yeah, they're not shy to sack managers. We know that, especially with the amount of money they've given. So yeah, I think he's got to win, but I don't think he will. I'd like to think Scotty Parker would do it again.
Score prediction?
1-1. I'll go 1-1.
What about you, Hal?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. I think a 1-1.
Nice, Corey.
I'm gonna back Scotty P. Fancy a 1-0 Fulham.
Yeah, Locks.
I think we'll get away with one this weekend. I'm going to go 2-0 Chelsea.
I'm going 1-0. I'm going 1-0 Fulham as well. I fancy him to get something, to be fair, and it'd be absolutely lovely if he did. Let's move on to another one then. Two of our guests who are coming up against each other this weekend, not personally, just their teams. Sheffield United versus Tottenham. Hal, you must be buzzing. 2 wins in a week.
Yeah, I was buzzing until I saw someone in the comments call me Alan Partridge.
I thought that was good, to be fair.
That was good.
I find it amazing how many people still think the petrol cap on a Ford Focus is offside rear. I'm nothing like Alan Partridge.
We all need to tune into Hal's radio show. I think it'd be a good laugh, to be fair. Do you ever do phone-ins, Hal?
I just stopped as of today.
Really? I'd have loved to have... Oh, you're on the wind.
I'm joking, yeah. It's too easy.
I'm just going to phone him one time, just for piss take, I think.
What a funny story.
Come on then, I'll talk to me, man. You must be buzzing. Two wins in a week.
Yeah, fantastic, incredible, amazing. Had a shave, and that's what this is. I used a razor and everything. So it was brilliant, incredible. I don't drink. If I did drink, I would have got absolutely hammered. But I did have a celebratory piece of toast, and it was nice. It was top drawer with Marmite, which is my favourite. So that was great. It was great. Really enjoyed the Bristol Rovers game. It's probably the most enjoyable game I've watched all season. End to end, and eventually nicking it. And it's lovely to beat a lower league team in the cup. And then to watch us outplay, outmuscle, and outthink a Newcastle United side. The only disappointment is it took a penalty, and we just don't look like scoring in any game apart from against Bristol Rovers. So that really does worry me. If it hadn't been a penalty, and it was a penalty, but if it hadn't been a penalty, it probably could have played till today and it'd still be 0-0, even though we were just peppering them with chances. They were all half chances. So that still worries me a little bit. And I would say with Tottenham, the way it's going to be is the way all our games have gone this season. If Spurs score first, they win. And if we score first, we might win. So that's kind of the way I'm still looking at it.
Yeah, just on that, not scoring goals and obviously the threat of relegation. Some would say you're already gone. I don't know. I still hold on to this idea that Chris could do something. But do you think with the threat of relegation that they'll go out and spend and try get someone in that might get you goals? Or do you think they've already...
got 7 strikers.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. You've already tried, haven't you?
It's the midfield. The problem is we've got 3 midfielders, so we didn't even have enough. We didn't have any substitutes on the bench that were a midfielder in the last 2 games. I could have said that better. We didn't have any midfielders on the bench. There we go. And John Lundstrom is likely to leave, and he is one of our better midfielders. He's our creative midfield force. Our best player is Sander Berge, who scored against Tottenham at home last time we played him. Scored the opener of 3. So he's key, and he's out, and he's going to be out till March. And then how long's the season? Finishes in May, so probably play 5 games. So if we sell anyone, we need to, like Lundstrom, we need to get a midfielder, a creative midfielder, rather than a striker.
Right, cool. Do you give yourself any hope in this game then? Is it just a case of if we score first, then you're hopeful?
Yeah, I think just exactly the same as when we played Spurs at beautiful downtown Bramall Lane last season. We scored early with Sander Berge. If we do the same again, obviously not him, but if we score early and then Tottenham have a goal unfairly disallowed for VAR, we could go on and score 3 again.
Elena, what about you? What are your thoughts? How are you feeling ahead of this one?
Well, if we do not win, next Friday is going to be a whole Jose Mourinho bashing, because if we do not beat this Sheffield United team, I'm going to be very angry. If we do not beat them with his the same sort of problems, if it's the Jose Mourinho style and then we lose, I'll be very annoyed. But I would like to say we have enough to win. I think we should win 2-1. I think we'll still concede 100%. I mean, our defenders are so shaky. We'll definitely concede, but I would say 2-1. The problem is if we go 1-0 up, it's how we then approach it after that. If we go 1-0 up and then think, they've got nothing in the tank, we'll just defend, then they get a goal. We could easily crumble. I feel like if we go 2 up in the first half, then we'll probably concede 1 and we could see out the game. But it's that 1-0 at half time that's really imperative for Tottenham at the moment. How we go into half time, how many goals up, or if it's 0-0, it's different. But if we go 1-0 up into half time, the way we're man-managed is so weird. Like, I don't like, it depends on how the game goes. I don't like how we go into games when we're 1-0 up. So
basically, Jose out, aren't you?
It's not sitting on the fence. We were in a really similar position, Tottenham and ourselves, in 1993. Might be 92. No, it was March 93, I think. And so Tottenham were like pushing right at the top, and we were obviously down there. And Sheffield United won 6-0. And it came out of absolutely nowhere. And I still think it's Tottenham's biggest ever Premier League defeat. And it's still our biggest Premier League win. And it was not looking like it was ever on the cards. So I'm probably gonna tell that again at the end, because I love that.
Okay.
I'll look up the date in the meantime.
I just can't see it happening this time, Hal. I'm sorry, mate, but
I just wanted to say it in case it does.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Corey, thoughts on this one, mate? Do you give Sheffield United any hope?
To be fair, probably not. I did actually think they looked better in the last game. I know people say it was 10-man Newcastle, but I did think they not saying they look more creative. They looked to try and get in behind, get the wing backs in. I think Burke as well starting makes a difference. Brewster in there. There is a bit of pace. I still think, like you, Joe, I think at some point this Sheffield United team will click. I know they've got 2 wins on the bounce. Possibly it's not the best game to come in off that, but again, against Tottenham, they're so defensively minded. To break them down, it is really, really difficult. I think Jose might even be happy with a draw, depending on how the game goes. That's just the nature of it. But again, the way Sheffield United play, they'll try and come on to Tottenham. So Kane will come back, and Son will come back, and they'll probably hit him on the counter and get a win.
I just want to add to that, just one little point. My problem with Jose Mourinho is going for draws, not going for the win. And he goes for the draw. Like, we don't have any intent to win games. That's my main issue with him. We shouldn't be scared of playing everyone. And we are.
I wish he was like that against us. Because against us, he didn't do that. He didn't sit back till 3-0.
No, but you...
Oh. Sorry, go on, Elena.
You lot are so open. If we didn't counter, it's easy to counter you. I think that's the only reason why we did it. Whereas everyone else, we don't.
Yeah, that's
unfortunately.
Well,
I love you a lot. You know this.
It was March 1993. My memory's not that bad. Some of you probably weren't even born. When I said some of you, I literally was just thinking of you. I just didn't want to.
I definitely was born.
No, it's me as well, mate. To be fair.
Oh, okay, fine. Locks and Corey look really old. The goal scorers were Franz Carr, Ian Bryson, Brian Dean, Paul Rogers, and an Andy Gray. Not that one.
I don't need to know this history. Like, this is history I don't need to know.
Nil. I'll tell you, I can't even think of a time that Tottenham have beaten Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. Can't think of one.
And yeah.
Great.
So we're all set for a Sheffield United win then, right? Or is it?
I've convinced myself.
Yeah.
Some of them in the comments are saying 7-0 Blades. So yeah, let's go for it.
Do it.
Joe, I think I've convinced Leeds fans to like Sheffield United.
I've never not minded them, mate.
I think I've achieved the impossible.
Yeah, I don't like the other team in Sheffield. I really have a dislike for that other team in Sheffield, but there's a little bit of respect there. I think it's from a young age though as well, because my mum absolutely loves Sean Bean, and every time I talk about Sheffield United, she goes, "Oh, Sean Bean." I have to say, Mum, enough of that Sean Bean crack. But everyone knows he's a Sheffield United, he's a blade. So yeah, she loves a bit of Sean Bean. She just mentions it all the time. Locks, what are your thoughts for this game?
Yeah, I mean, Tottenham are a weird one. I mean, look, I think with every team this season, I think anyone could beat anyone so far. You know, well, maybe not Sheffield United. I don't know. I think Tottenham. You know, like I said with Man United. You know, a few weeks ago I was saying Man United didn't look great, and now they are. And Chelsea looked great a few weeks ago, and now they don't. I think Tottenham. I remember coming on here on this show, you know, the first time back in whenever it was October or something like that, and Tottenham, I said were title contenders, you know, and now they just seem to be back to their inconsistent selves. I just it's just a hard one. I think Tottenham will win this weekend, unfortunately for Hal, and I'd love Sheffield United to stay up, but I think something which I will agree with Rory Jennings on is I think Sheffield United will continue their poor form, and I think they will go down, and I think that will show this weekend, unfortunately, against Tottenham.
Sack Locks for being unloyal, disloyal, and joining in fun in a way that excludes Hal, and sack him for being an absolute idiot and inefficient.
Sorry.
What's your score prediction, Locks?
I'm going to go with 3-0 Tottenham.
Ouch. I don't think they'll concede that many, to be fair. They might not win back. What? You haven't conceded a lot all season, right?
No, same with last season. Under Chris Wilder, we don't concede many goals. Problem's just been not scoring.
Corey, score prediction?
2-0 Spurs, Kane and Son.
Right. Hal?
6-0 Sheffield United.
Helena?
I'm going to go 3-1. I think we'll concede one, but I think we should win.
3-1, just like when Sheffield United beat Tottenham last season by that exact scoreline. Okay.
Yeah. Get revenge back on that stupid disallowed goal.
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about disallowed goals? I mean, we could
with the other one at home.
Tottenham. Yeah.
I was there.
When we would have won.
It was really bad, actually. It was like
it was a joke. It was awful. It was the worst decision I've ever seen in football in the entirety of my life.
I was live, so I couldn't see it. I was like at the ground, but when I got back, I was shocked.
Awful. Still annoyed. And yes, I am living in the past.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to, though, mate, haven't you?
You've got to. When you support Sheffield United and who've had no trophy success in my life, you've got to live in the past. I'm gonna give
Sheffield United a hope. I'm gonna go 1-1. Just to make Hal a little bit happier. Let's move it on then. Corey, West Ham, Burnley.
That'll be fun,
Antonio's
won't
back now, right? Eh?
That'll be a fun game.
Oh, I
Don't
know,
watch it
yeah,
back to the
tell me
day.
about it.
Oh.
Antonio back?
Antonio back. He played, I think it was 88 minutes, so pretty much the full 90 against Stockport. Not what I would have wanted, and something that I was really annoyed about. He looked to threaten the game. Again, it's against the Conference Premier side. He should be doing that, but just looks off the pace. It takes Antonio at least 2 months to get back into the swing of things, and obviously we're trying to get a replacement in for ALLLEEDS. Hopefully we do that within the next week, but with our board, they'll drag it to the last couple of days. So I hope he just doesn't get injured. I think that's the concern with the whole team, isn't it? We've got so many big players. If one of them goes out, Declan Rice or Souček, who should have won Premier League Player of the Month, then yeah, it's going to hinder us. And you see Burnley, I know Manchester United beat them, but I've been doing the analysis on them, and their defensive shape is ridiculous. I mean, Dyche has built a side just to be purely effective, and you can't break down. And we struggle against teams where we have the ball. We can't do it. If we've got no space and we can't get in behind and counter, we're going to struggle. So slightly concerned with this game. It could be one of those games.
Burnley are pretty toothless going forward, though, at the minute, aren't they? They haven't really scored a lot of goals this season. Hal, what are your thoughts on Burnley West Ham?
Oh, I thought I'd kick Locks out.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there.
With the power of my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit like. Do you remember when Danny, God rest his soul,
Oh my God.
was on here? He's never been back since, has he? Since I think I ended him.
What did you do?
Well, we did a quiz, and I was a bit merciless because he said home or away options, and I expected home with the quiz to be questions about Sheffield United and away to be questions not about Sheffield United. But as it turned out, home or away didn't mean anything, and it was just a random selection of questions, which I was not going to accept. West Ham Burnley is what you asked about. I think it'll be. I think it'll be the worst game in Premier League history. It'll be 0-0.
Locks, West Ham Burnley.
Is this the predictions? Is it, or do you want me to actually talk about
just
this
chapter?
one?
I mean, it's just a terrible game. Sorry,
Yeah.
Corey. It's not.
No,
something-
let's talk about it. It's going to be a bad game.
I'm not even going to just talk about it. I'm just going to say 2-1 West Ham.
Yeah. Elena.
I mean, yeah, boring game in it. I'm gonna go 1-0 West Ham.
I feel like
Burnley
we should all do the Alan Partridge shrug for this game.
I do think it's got 0-0 written all over it, personally, to be fair. What about you, Hal?
Yeah, 0-0. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Corey. We normally like to give West Ham a little thing.
It's all right, mate. It's all right.
Yeah.
We move on. You can watch us
Yeah.
play Liverpool the other week, and it'll be a bit more entertaining than this one.
Yeah, good. Right, Leicester have got Southampton. Locks. Talk to us about that one, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, look, both teams. I mean, I would say Leicester have been one of the most consistent sides in the league this season. Obviously, I've spoken already today about how Chelsea and Man United and Tottenham have kind of fluctuated between positions, but I think Leicester have been in that top four all season. Southampton have done well. Corey doesn't go.
Every week, mate.
Look, mate, they're all here, look.
It just don't end. It never ends. All the comments. Ridiculous. Sorry, Locks.
No, it's all right, mate. Now, Southampton have done well, I mean, even when Ings got injured a couple of months ago, he was out for a bit and they were still getting results. And I think that showed they weren't just a one-man team. James Ward-Prowse, quality at set pieces. Free. If he gets a free kick in a dangerous area, he can put it in the back of the net. So, I mean, they're seventh now. I think they'll. You can't. I can't say that they'll be in. They'll qualify for Europe. If I'm honest, I think eventually they'll fall out of those positions. But they have had a good start, and I can't really kind of disregard that. So I think
They have a great record at the King Power as well. I believe. Is that right, Locks?
Yeah. I mean, they've been quality since we beat them 9-0 last season. We beat them 9-0, and then since then, they've been on great form. I think they came to our place later on in that season. I think it was March or something like that, and they beat us 2-1. So yeah, they've got a good record at our place, and obviously it is at our place tomorrow night. So yeah, I think it will definitely be a tough game. They have players that are capable of scoring goals, creating chances and things like that. But then again, so do we. And I think Southampton, they're not going to be the kind of team to sit back and soak up pressure against us. I think they will go for it, and I think that will kind of play into our hands a little bit. You know, Vardy was out with a little injury, but it was just over the FA Cup weekend, so he should be fine now for tomorrow. Maddison should be okay. We've got Ricardo Pereira back in contention for the team finally, but I can't see him starting the game, if I'm honest, because of James Justin. He's been absolutely quality this season. He just keeps getting better and better, and you know,
is Fofana still the best thing since sliced bread, or has he gone off the boil?
Well, the thing with Fofana is he was the best thing since sliced bread, but he then dyed his hair blonde. He bleached his hair, and he turned into Sol Bamba. God rest his soul. Not God rest his soul, but
he's not died.
No,
he's not.
I didn't mean God rest his soul. Big prayers and thoughts to him as well and his family. He has been diagnosed, but he wasn't the best at the King Power Stadium. But he did turn into a bit of a Bambi on ice, if I'm honest, when he bleached his hair, and then he actually promised the Leicester fans on social media that he'd dye his hair back, which he did, and since then he's once again turned into Maldini. So he's a quality player, and I have no doubt that within a couple of years he'll be playing at a big club. I think what Leeds. But I think Leicester. You know, we had a couple blips. We drew to Palace. Obviously we drew to.
That's killed me, actually. You know? God rest his soul.
I don't know. We've had a couple of blips. Obviously, a draw against Palace. We drew against United as well, which obviously was a good result. But yeah, I think we should have enough for Southampton. I am impressed with them this season, but I think we should have enough. And I think Vardy will be back on the score sheet.
You know, just on Jamie Vardy, obviously he's getting on now. At which point will Leicester look to... Is there anyone waiting in the wings to take over that mantle?
The problem with Vardy, I mean, I put a tweet out the other day. It was his birthday the other day. 34 years old. I never celebrate Jamie Vardy's birthdays because it's just depressing, really. You know, the older he gets, we need him forever. You know, he can't retire. But I think the problem with Vardy is it's very difficult to replace him with a not even world class, but you know, a Premier League quality striker, because they know that for now at least they are going to be playing second fiddle to him, and it's difficult. We have been linked really over the last year with Edouard from Celtic, the Celtic striker. We've been linked with him for over a year, and the past few days actually, there's started to become more and more rumours about that. £30 million. And I think that would be a good buy. He's got 1 goal every 2 games for Celtic. He's obviously played under Brendan Rodgers, so it could be a good signing. But it's just a difficult thing, you know. Jamie Vardy, we can't drop him, and anyone coming into the club knows that Jamie Vardy is the man, and you're not going to be starting games. So it's a very difficult situation to be in with him.
Lots. One thing I would say is, sorry, Joe.
Go on, Hal.
Jamie Vardy came into the game late, didn't he? And I think when you find players that come into the game late, they tend to carry on playing longer than those who came through youth systems of Premier League sides. So that's probably one thing I'd keep, hopeful for you.
Yeah, I mean, he's 34 years old. You know, I mean, the pace he's got, you would have never have thought that at 34 years old, he would still have that pace and keep it. But yeah, he just, as everyone says, age is like a fine wine and all of that. I think he's at least got another season in him, next season. But it still creates that dilemma, about can we bring in a top striker when Vardy is going to be, the main striker for at least another year, and that's the tough one.
Definitely. Elena, what about you on Leicester and Southampton? Do you think the other sides will finish above you this season?
Leicester have a chance. I think they've got an outside chance of top 4, to be honest. I think everyone sleeps on them because of last season, whereas when they was flying high and then just dropped towards the end after the break. But I think that they've got a chance at top 4. It's going to be hard. It's quite a hard game because Southampton have been really, really good this season. And I would like to think it will be a draw, but I just think Leicester have too much in the tank for them. I'd like to think that Southampton could get a draw against them, because I don't think Southampton will keep it up for the rest of the season. So to take some points off Leicester would be good. But I just don't see it. I think that Leicester will just go for it. And I think if Southampton play with a lot of with counter-attacking ball, but so do Leicester. But I feel like Leicester have just got more in it to get the result. I feel like with Southampton, when they counter, they expect to score the few chances they get, and I just feel like if Leicester just have too much quality, I think. And I mean, when they played us, it was a really, really weird game, because it's like, you have the ball, no, you have the ball, no, I don't want it, no, I don't want it. That's just the way we both sort of play football. But I do feel like they'll be able to get a result against Southampton. But it would be nice if they could get like a 1-1, keep them both like at bay for another week, because we need to get our point against Sheffield United, at least get a point, hopefully, and then they could get and then they could keep calm. But I'm not sure. I feel like Leicester have a chance to finish above us, and so do Southampton, to be honest. But I just don't think they'll keep it up. But I think Leicester will. So it would be nice to get a draw, but I think Leicester will win 2-1, 3-1.
No. Corey?
It's one of them games, isn't it, really? I expect, I think Leicester are a bit underrated. I mean, I know we beat them 3-0, and I think they were a little bit out of sorts, and Brendan Rodgers is trying to sort of implement the side he wants. Indeed, his comeback's made a massive difference. I think people sleep on James Maddison as well, to be fair. And I think because he's sort of been in and out of the side and he hasn't been able to pick up form, people forget how good a 10 he is. And you see him in some games, he's absolutely tremendous. And I think that midfield battle is going to be a massive part. We played Southampton. Their press is ridiculous as well. They just throw men forward. Theo Walcott for Southampton's rejuvenated himself. He's gone there, looks a really, really decent player. And I think there is that threat from Southampton. But defensively, you feel like Leicester have got enough. Pereira comes back in the side again. You've got some problems at fullbacks, because you've got Justin and you've got Pereira, and it's like, how do you play them? And Justin's played, and I've got to be honest, Locks, I was so jealous the other day, because you play in the FA Cup, and you put out your second strength side, and there's the drop off in quality isn't that bad. And I think that's the thing that will carry Leicester. We talk about some of these teams challenging for top 4 and 6th place, and I think Leicester have got enough, and I think they'll beat Southampton.
Nice. What about you, Hal?
I was reading this comment from Tom92, says, Hull is West Yorkshire, Hull of Halifax. I'm actually not from Halifax. The reason I've got my name is I was conceived in a Halfords car park. So, am I wrong?
You came over.
You know what? I think the most important thing is with this game is that when the commentators on Match of the Day talk about it, that they don't mention the 9-0 too much.
Every week.
We've all had enough of that. I think we agree, and it's in the history books. And Ralph Hasenhüttl, which I think I've said this before on this channel, Hasenhüttl translates as Ralph Rabbit Touch. That's absolutely true. I think that he's done such an incredible job. He doesn't deserve that to be brought up again and again and again. Still, having said that, Leicester, you don't become a 9-0, by being that side. You don't then a year later become so much worse than Southampton. They're still better than Southampton. Leicester will beat Southampton. It won't be 9-0. It'll be much closer.
Can you give us a score prediction?
2-0 to the Foxes.
Nice. Corey?
Yeah, exactly the same. 2-0 to the Foxes.
Nice. Elena, are you with us? Score prediction?
I think 2-1.
2-1. And Locks?
2 Leicester, sorry.
Yeah, I'd agree with Eleanor, sorry, there. I would go with 2-1. Ings is out with COVID, but Shea Adams will be back, so I fancy him to get a goal. But yeah, 2-1 Leicester.
Cool.
Do you know who Shea Adams scored his first 2 professional goals against? Anyone?
Sheffield United?
No, he was playing for Sheffield United.
Oh, was it? Okay. Didn't know that.
So that's the only team you could have picked that he didn't score against in the whole of the world.
I mean, he was a youth product at Leicester, right? Is that? I believe.
I thought it was Coventry, but it might have been Leicester.
I think it was Leicester. Yeah.
I'm going to literally look it up soon. Okay, so he scored his first ever professional goals, 2 of them in one match against Tottenham Hotspur, another game that Tottenham couldn't beat Sheffield United at Bramall Lane.
He's definitely getting in the digs. And there's our good friend Matt Hayes. We were talking about you earlier. All positive things, Matt. All positive things. Absolute legend. Make sure you check out Matt Hayes' Tottenham blog as well. Right, so big game, biggest game of the weekend. I'm lying, of course, but yeah, Leeds take on Burnley. No, they don't take on Burnley, they take on Brighton. That shows you what I know. But yeah, look, Brighton have some massive players out. I think they're without Lamptey, Lallana, Welbeck, Connolly. Yeah, I think that's up to now. I was speaking to a Brighton fan midweek. He was saying, you know, they never know what side Potter's going to put out. They haven't won in 9, haven't Brighton. And I found out earlier on today as well that they've never won a Premier League game in January, which as a Leeds United fan doesn't fill me up with confidence, because if Leeds United... We always break these sort of hoodoos, is what I'm saying. This person hasn't scored. I mean, look at the FA Cup, for example. We are that team. But I do think with the players they've got out, the fact that we went out in the FA Cup with some key personnel out, but it was still strong enough. I'm not trying to defend it. It was absolutely shocking against Crawley. I was disgusted. But I think they'll come back with a vengeance. And I think we'll have far too much for Brighton. I keep saying Burnley. Yeah, I do think we'll have too much for Brighton. And Brighton are actually... They could get relegated this season, I think. So it'd be interesting to see what happens, because it's all good, Graham Potter getting praise for playing decent football, but ultimately they're not scoring goals and they're not winning games. They have no winning 9 in the league, which isn't good enough. It's a little bit sweeter as well as Leeds United fan, the fact that he made the point of saying the reason we won't sell Ben White to Leeds is because we're going to be mixing in the same circles and we're 12th and they're going to get relegated. So it's quite nice. And I think I was speaking to a Brighton fan yesterday, as I said, and he said that they should have took the 30 million for Ben White. They don't think he's all that, which is crazy, because Leeds United fans think he was the best centre-back at the club since Rio Ferdinand. To be fair, he was that good. Don't know whether or not we just have had gash defenders, but he just looked on a different level to what we've had over the past few seasons. So it's crazy to think that they don't rate him all that much. But yeah, I'm going for a comfortable Leeds United win. I am, and I do think we might win the game 3-0 if I'm being totally honest. But I'm going to find out what the others think. Corey, what are your thoughts on Leeds Brighton?
I think it could be a bit closer than that. I didn't think Brighton played that bad against Manchester City, and they're in some serious form as well, to be fair to them. I know they're playing with that false 9 thing, but you know, City can obviously get goals against you. You touched on the Ben White. I've seen Ben White. He obviously steps into midfield naturally, but he does play him in midfield as well. Probably
right back as well.
From a player perspective, I mean, in terms of development, I don't think it's helping him necessarily. He's obviously trying to cover gaps. They brought in Tao, I think it is, Brighton, and he looks like a lively player. He's kind of the player that they need. Leeds, again, I watched the game against Crawley. It's just the mistakes, mate. I think from a Leeds point of view, the way Leeds want to play is impressive. It's just this mistakes. And I don't know whether it's fatigue or, you know, you're getting halfway through the season, you have to continue to play that way. It was interesting, actually, just from a West Ham perspective, Calvin Phillips getting a few digs on social media. And I hate that even from my point of view, you know, because they're saying he's getting caught out. Let's be honest, the keeper is Roberto level. I've seen some bad keepers and he's definitely up there. But no, mate, I expect you to come back. I expect you to... I think it'll be a draw, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just think it'll be a draw.
I hope you're wrong. Hal, what are your thoughts on this one?
Ben White is such a good player. I like him a lot. I like it. You know, his defending's great. I think his passing is brilliant as well. I think that's quite an underrated ability that he has. So yeah, I like Ben White, and I think that when Brighton go down, I agree that they will go down. Leeds might get a chance to go and get him. I've seen Sheffield United, of course, play Brighton. One of the few games where we were better than an opposition, so I didn't rate Brighton. They were very lucky to get a late equaliser against us, and you know, that's saying something the way we've played this season. So I know they played quite well against Manchester City, particularly second half, but I've seen Leeds as well. I've seen a lot more of Leeds, admittedly, but Leeds are going to have too much for Brighton. I think they're going to outplay them. I think they've got more options going forward, and I think Leeds will be quite comfortable in this game. I don't even think Brighton will score.
Nice. Love that, mate. Thank you very much. Love to hear that. And we have rested key personnel in Ayling, Dallas, Click, Bamford. So they'll be back in the side. Llorente is going to be back, apparently, which means we'll have Cooper and Llorente. Ayling back at his preferred position at right back, which is brilliant. Alioski out of the side and Dallas at left back, which, again, he's better. So I'm expecting it's flying out of the blocks. Locks, what are your thoughts for this one, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen too much of Brighton this season. I mean, I watched them the week before we played them, and I did. And I think someone on here as well mentioned a couple of months ago about how it looked as if they could be in a false position with the way they're playing, the football that they're playing. And I watched them, and I watched them against us as well, and they weren't bad. The football they were playing was good stuff. But a few weeks on, 2 wins this season, only one more than Sheffield United and West Brom. I think they're definitely going to get tied into that. Well, they already are, tied into that relegation fight, and I don't think they've got enough. I think, as Hal said, it will be a good opportunity for Leeds to go and sign Ben White in the summer. If they do go down, and obviously the price tag as well will be reduced. So, yeah, I don't think Brighton have got enough. I was impressed with their football early on in the season, but since then, not much happening really. I think Leeds, on the other hand, despite the result in the FA Cup, with Mark Wright knocking you out of the FA Cup, is that right?
Man, don't. You got like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
it's all a money spinner for this documentary, isn't it? It's brutal.
Yeah.
The Wright brothers, they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They were flying.
I watched that back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Leeds are going to have far too much for Brighton. I know you said 3-0, didn't you, Joe? I think I'd have to agree with you there, mate. Yeah, 3-0 Leeds.
Yeah, that'd be lovely. Elena, what are your thoughts on this one? I know you're a big fan of Leeds and Bielsa, to be fair.
I do. I'll definitely be watching, because I watch all of Leeds games most of the time anyway. But yeah, I think you'll run riot against them. I don't think, other than set pieces, I don't think you have much to worry about with them. Obviously, yes, they did get a point against Liverpool, but I just feel like you've got too much in the tank for them. I feel like you will overwhelm them and you'll get a few goals quite quickly, I would assume. So I would like to say we'll probably get them like 3-0. I don't see them scoring unless they get like a corner and they just don't defend it well, because I feel like that is where their strengths lie. And you lot don't really, you're a bit like us where you don't defend set pieces very well. that's a bit like our problem. So I feel like you'll win. I feel like you'll win quite comfortably. I mean, I always do, and then you don't, which is annoying. But I like the way you play, and I think you'll have too much for them. And I do think they'll go down. And like everyone said about Ben White, you know, that's a great signing if you could get him on a cheap, because he has gone down. So I do think you will. But yeah, I think you'll be. I think you'll be fine. I think it's 3-0, I would say. 3-0 to you lot, 3-4.
Love that, Elena. Thank you for that. Well, everyone across the board thinks we're going to get a Leeds United win, so that's always good to hear. Actually, no, Corey said...
I'll bottle it. I still think Brighton are going to get a goal. I'll say you 2-1, as long as you put Calvin in midfield and not at centre-back. So if Aylin's back, that does make sense.
Calvin's out. Calvin's suspended. Ooh. Yeah, he's suspended. Okay. He picked up a suspension with an accumulation of cards. It does make a difference, to be fair, because when he was out of the side, we conceded 4 against Leicester and then 4 against Palace. So he is a big loss, and Pascal's not.
I was going to say,
there.
You've got Rafinha as well, haven't you? Rafinha's available as well.
Yeah.
And
Rafinha.
I think he's just one of my favourite players that you have, to be fair. I think he's brilliant. 17
million, what a snip.
Honestly, he's unreal. But yeah, I think he just got too much in the tank for them.
Yeah, I hope you're right. But someone did say to me when I made this point about Calvin, and someone said, yeah, but we conceded 4 in 45 minutes with Calvin against Man United, so it's irrelevant. And I was like, nah, yeah, you make a good point, to be fair. Right, that's it for the show. Has everyone brought questions along?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't. So while you ask the question, I'm going to have to quickly find one. But who wants to take us away with the question first of all?
Can we all go full screen so the comments aren't appearing on the right-hand side? I think that's a good
It's so competitive, Locks.
Yeah, he is, right?
While you're pressing full screen, I'd like you all to follow me, because I'm really close to getting to 2,000 followers, and I had a look at how many Locks has got. And his tweets are really boring, and he's got like 12,000 followers. So if you could get me to 2,000, that'd be great.
Boring? Come on, that's a bit harsh. Boring?
Yeah.
I would love 4,000.
Yeah, we're all trying to get.
You not follow me.
We're all trying to get close to Locks because he's done really, really well, and I'm only
Would you like
joking.
me
Locks.
to? Yeah. Would you like me to tweet more about Sheffield United?
I'd like you to follow me, mate. That would be.
Yeah, that'd be.
No, I do follow you.
I'm joking. I'm joking. At DJ Hal Stewart.
At DJ Hal Stewart. Make sure you follow him. He's a funny guy. We all love Hal. You all love Hal in these comments as well. So make sure you follow the social channels, to be fair. They've all got them up there. So make sure you follow them, man. It's a good family. They're good guys and girls. But yeah, so quiz question.
I don't follow you. Sorry, Hal. I just have.
What? That's
They're just not cricket. They're just not cricket. I follow. Just not.
To be fair, Lux, I've got 3 accounts, so I'm letting you.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Right. Who's going first? Well, I find one.
I'll go first.
Cool.
Okay, so are you ready?
Mhm.
Which former Premier League manager holds the record for the quickest sacking in the league's history?
Which Premier League manager has the quickest sacking?
Yeah, the quickest sacked manager in Premier League history.
See, I can think of which ones had the shortest tenure, but he left out of choice, so that's tough.
Which club? Or is that too easy?
I'm not going to give the club, but I'm sure the comment. Hallie, are your eyes on the comments there, mate?
No, my eyes are on my tissue because I've got a runny nose, and I'm thinking, can I get one without anyone noticing? Well, you've now made it a really big thing. So.
Who wants
Drawn
to go
quite a lot of
first?
attention to it.
Oh, mate, I ain't got a clue.
I ain't got a clue either.
What gives the club? Gives the club.
All right, the club is Charlton.
Don't make it any easier.
Is it that guy who took over after Kirbishley? Les Reed.
Oh,
Anybody else having a guess?
No, yeah, Les Reed.
No, I don't have a clue, mate. Honestly, if it's at Charlton, that.
The answer is Les Reed.
Get in!
Go on now. Well done.
He was sacked after 40 days. 40 days he was sacked with 1 win in 6 weeks, which, I mean, he wouldn't do very well at Sheffield United, would he?
Well, Sheffield United actually beat Charlton under Les Reed 3-1 at Bramall Lane. Keith Gillespie scoring a wonder goal in 2006. So, I mean, if you're going to come at me with facts, better be prepared.
Corey, go on, mate.
It's another boring one. Who has the record assists in the Premier League era?
We know it's not Balotelli.
Ooh,
Yeah, I've done that.
Mesut Ozil.
Anyone else?
I seen something the other day, but it's someone had passed someone, but I don't know. It's weird. I'm not. That's wrong. It's so wrong. But I'm gonna say it. Thierry Henry.
Oh, that's a good shout, you know.
I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't hear the whole question, so...
record assists in the Premier League era. So who's had the most assists of all time? Yeah.
Christian Eriksen, I'm going to go with.
Definitely not him.
I'm just going to back him because he's my guy.
I'm wrong. I'm definitely wrong.
I like the Henry shout. I'll say... maybe I'll say another Arsenal option. Fabregas.
I think Giggs is first. Ryan Giggs is first, but that is because of obviously the duration of his career, 162, and I think Fabregas is second. So I know, man, I know, but Giggs has been around for years. Like Fabregas did it in that time as well. Is quite impressive.
Yeah,
I think Ozil has the record for most in one season. I think that's where I'm getting confused.
I won't do that question next week then.
Right, I'll go with mine, yeah? Nice and easy. I've just had to quickly check it up. Well, I don't know if it is easy, but which manager has earned the most promotions to the Premier League?
I want to say Neil Warnock.
The most promotions to the Premier League?
Yeah. I can give you a clue if you want.
I'm going to go
please.
Steve Bruce.
Yeah, go on.
No, that means mine's not right.
He's currently managing in the Premier League now.
Steve Bruce.
Oh, it could be actually. I'm going to back that answer as well.
Do I get another go now you've given a clue?
Go on then, mate.
I mean, I don't have a guess, but I just want.
I mean, Locks has got it bang on. Steve Bruce.
Oh, right, okay. I do a really good impression of Steve Bruce.
Go on.
I don't know if now's quite the right time. But, there you go.
That's brilliant. That was actually really good.
One day when you want, just pick someone. I do impressions of everyone.
Really?
Yeah. You're getting a lot. You're getting a lot for your money, to be honest.
Do you know what?
I'm an all-rounder.
Yeah, we're gonna have to stop it. That should be your quiz question. You should do an impression of we've to guess it.
You've got to try and guess it. That's a good idea, actually.
I bet you could do a good Arsene Wenger.
Do you know what? I'm doing one now. You've had that, and you can look forward to another one.
Class. Right, who's next? Elena or Hal? Question.
Oh, ladies first, please.
Nice.
Okay.
Chivalrous.
Who is the youngest goal scorer in the Premier League?
Oh, it's not as long anymore.
James Vaughan.
Who?
James Vaughan, the former Everton striker, of course. It could also be Michael Branch, the former Everton striker. Oh, Elena, your poker face. Yes.
Yeah, because you've all said it, didn't you?
Is that the answer? Is that right?
Locks was asking.
One of us said it.
Okay,
No, Corey was like, yeah. Or someone said, yeah.
Corey, yes.
Yeah, James Vaughan. There you go.
Yeah, James Vaughan, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was going to say.
I'm frozen. Everyone's frozen.
I would have not got that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Everton striker.
You're my question.
Good question.
Okay, so earlier on, Locks and I got into one of our heated debates over Che Adams. So the question is, which club did Che Adams start his youth career? Which top flight club? Well, when I say top flight club, professional club, I should say.
I'm going to say Coventry City.
Yeah, Coventry.
I mean, I'm going to... Oh, come on.
But then again, Locks, he's checked it, so maybe you were right.
No, maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to go with...
Well, you've already said Leicester, Locks.
Yeah, but you're asking again, so I'm clearly wrong. You wouldn't ask it if I was right.
Yeah, obvious.
You wouldn't ask if I was right.
Well, I think the finding here is I didn't have a question, and I've just come up with this because it's
very niche as well. That's very, very niche. Che Adams. You know?
Are they currently top flight, or were they top flight?
Well, I'm not telling you that.
I'm just gonna have to go. Go Leicester, aren't I?
You are.
Yeah.
Elena.
Well, it's obvious, isn't it?
It is.
Leicester.
Yeah,
So
the main thing is, I just want it to be obvious that Locks was wrong. Locks. Che Adams was born in Leicester.
Right.
However, his youth career was at Coventry City, as said by Hal at a previous point in this video.
Yeah, exactly. You already said.
Honestly, class,
Are you sure
as always.
I thought it was Highfield Rangers, which is in Leicester.
Right, so I said professional club in the question. I was quite clear on that. Highfield Rangers are a team that no one watching this video has ever heard of.
Yeah, All right.
Locks has definitely been on his Leicester stream saying, do you know what I think we should get? Leicester homeboy Che Adams. That's what we should get.
Talk about his days in the youth team, cleaning Danny Simpson's boots. Get Danny on as well. He'll probably do it for free.
The only reason why I thought Che Adams was playing for Leicester was because a friend of mine went to school with him and he played football in Leicester. So I just assumed that he played for Leicester. But yeah, I was wrong. Thank you, Al, for pointing that out. I appreciate that. I'll get you back next week.
Yeah, definitely.
Locks, this is all for the WhatsApp messages. You know that, right?
Right, great stuff. What another great show. Some great numbers as well tonight as well, guys. So thank you for that. It just keeps getting better. We keep doing so. Yeah, thank you for that. Keep smashing a like on the video so that more people see it. I think that's how YouTube works anyway, the algorithms and all that jazz. I'm not sure. Just smash a like on the video.
Yeah,
yeah, the algorithms. It does. Thank you, Elena. Remember as well, guys, this show is sponsored by Football Prizes. You can get yourself loads of stuff on there. Customised Adidas trainers for every Premier League club. You've got Barry Ferguson signed in for him, Rangers shirt, Christian Eriksen, Cavani, Daniel Podence, and of course Liam Cooper signed in for him. And you can also get yourself an Ollie Decor signed in for him, Leeds United shirt, £4.95 a ticket. Make sure you check them out. The link is in the description. You can win yourself some money on some of them as well. And I myself have won a prize, so you've got to be in it to win it. So yeah. Thank you so much again, guys, for an absolutely excellent stream. You are all legends. I'm so grateful that you do this and give us your time on a Friday night. So thank you very much. And I wish you all good luck over the weekend and Hal and Elena get a draw. And then we're all happy.
You'll have a great stream next week if we don't win. So
when are you going to come with the Jose out banner and stuff? Like that's.
I mean, I'm not even supposed to be Jose out. I'm not actually Jose out because who else is going to win us a trophy? But not Jose next season. Let's go with that.
I hear that Les Reed is available.
No. Anyway,
but yeah, great stuff. I just want to say as well, mate. Yeah, well, he said some not nice things. We don't miss you, mate. We don't miss that Mickey Mouse League. So there, just yeah. That's where you belong. Well, it's clearly not.
End on a high.
Yeah, end on a high. Get your son in the bin. You absolute cockwomble. I'm going to end it there. Thank you very much. We'll do that awkward bit where we end the stream. But